Welcome, everyone. We're going to start this special meeting of the Cupertino City Council. Welcome. Today is December 9th, 2022. If you would please stand and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance to our nation's flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Madam City Clerk, could you please conduct the roll?
Councilmember Moore.
Here.
Councilmember Way.
Here.
Councilmember Willey.
Here.
Vice Mayor Chao.
Here.
Mayor Paul.
Here. Thank you very much, Madam City Clerk. And I'll just let everyone know we have 4 items on our agenda tonight. You will have an opportunity to speak at each agenda item. However, we do ask the first item is simply the declaration of the results. The second item is thanking our outgoing council members. The third item is swearing in our new council members. And the fourth item is the selection of the mayor and vice mayor. And so for now, we are on item number 1. This is the election results. Madam City Clerk, I believe that you are going to be issuing a statement of results.
Yes, good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and council members. The results of the general municipal election held on November 8th, 2022 are being presented. The city conducted an election to elect 3 council members to the city council. The Santa Clara County Registrar of Voters has conducted the official canvass of the returns and certified the election results. The final draft resolution showing the total number of votes cast in the city and the total number of votes candidates received and the certificate of election results, which was not available at the time of tonight's agenda publication, was emailed to council members yesterday evening and made available to the public on the city website in the location of tonight's meeting agenda and in the digital archives. The total number of votes cast in the city was 48,430. The 3 candidates who received the most votes for the position of council member were Sheila Mohan, who received 8,335 votes, Liang Chao, who received 7,955 votes, and J.R. Fruen, who received 7,701 votes. The recommended action before you this evening is to adopt resolution number 22-150, declaring these totals to be the final results of the election.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Madam City Clerk. And I'll ask the clerk's office, are there any blue cards for this item? And I'll remind our members of the public, for this item, it is essentially clerical. There will be several opportunities later in the evening to welcome our incoming, and then before that to thank the outgoing, and then after that for the mayor and vice mayor selection. Are there any items of public comment for item number 1?
No, Mayor, we have no speaker cards, nor have we received any emails.
Okay, great. We will go ahead and take a motion. Would anyone like to move the recommended action, that's adopt resolution 22-150, stating the election results for the general municipal election held on November 8th, 2022. And the rest is on the agenda itself. Would anyone like to move that recommended action? I see people nodding at me, but there's nobody saying. Okay, Councilmember Willey, would you like to move?
I'd like to move the recommended item.
Okay, very good. Would anyone like to second the motion by Councilmember Willey? Okay, good.
I'll second.
Vice Mayor Chao seconds. Thank you very much. Any discussion on item number 1 and the motion that is on the table? Seeing no discussion, Madam City Clerk, could you please conduct a roll call vote?
Councilmember Moore.
Aye.
Councilmember Way.
Aye.
Councilmember Willey.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Chao.
Aye.
Mayor Paul.
Yes.
The motion carries unanimously.
Excellent. And so we are on to item number 2. This is a recognition of outgoing council members.
Yes, Mayor, we have some videos to show of the outgoing council members. If video would please roll the videos.
I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I'm about to enter for the city of Cupertino. My work for you goes beyond just developments. I will make it a priority to address and get answers to all of your issues, problems, and concerns. To be accepted for who we are, what is more fundamental than that? We need to be accepted, we need to be treated with respect, with compassion. I'm actually so honored to be presenting this Rising Star Community Volunteer Award. With Kelly working on these issues, I know we are in good hands when this next generation is taking care of things for us. I can still remember the first time I ever went to the outside library in probably grade school, about 8 or 9, when I had to do a book report. To me, the library is my home away from home. We need to be sure these guiding principles are never forgotten. All men, all women are created equal, and we welcome them all here in Cupertino. Science, technology, engineering, and math. It's wonderful to have this group in our community to assist our youth and foster an interest in STEM. The reason I'm here on the City Council is the community, to represent the people and making sure that your voices are here and part of our decisions that we make. That's what democracy is all about.
I, Darcy Paul, do solemnly swear to support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter for the fair and great city of Cupertino. We can do what's right for the economy, we can do what's right for the businesses, and we can do what's right for the environment. The citizens of Cupertino and the people who have interests in Cupertino, keep bringing your brains and your integrity to the table. Thank you so much for Mother's Day. 谢谢我的太太在前面跟我们两个女儿，谢谢我妈妈。So this day is for you. Thanks so much. Thank you for marching in the rain from De Anza. Thank you for being here today. It is critically important that your voices get heard. This is the first time that we have conducted this flag raising since 2008, and so I'm just so very proud of our community for standing together with the LGBTQ community. The COVID-19 pandemic has certainly changed a lot of other things as well about our lives for this past year and a half, but what it has not changed is our societal values. Welcome to the 2021 Cupertino Tree Lighting Ceremony.
3, 2, 1.
And I ask that we keep in mind our common effort to keep creating this righteous tapestry of democracy that we all have such a privilege to work on and improve. How I really feel about civics and engagement in politics is that we are always on an arc. We are always traveling, we are always trying to improve things. And I think this is a testament to that kind of attitude that you have in this community. So for me, favorite moment, this may be it in the library, even though it's been a good 46 years of library experiences. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you guys. Thank you very much. And we are now on to public comment for item 2. As has been our practice over the course of the last couple of years, we're going to go ahead and say that if you have your blue card in the first 3 minutes, and realizing that we're limiting people to 90 seconds, so first couple of comments or the first 3 minutes, whatever's longer, we will call on you for these public comments. And I just received this stack from the city clerk. I'm going to hand it back to the city clerk in order to socialize the idea of having the clerk's office take over the function of calling on public speakers. And so you'll have 90 seconds. You'll see that on your monitor for the timed countdown. And so, Madam City Clerk, would you please call out for the public speakers?
Okay, yes, Mayor. So far we have 16 blue speaker cards.
Great.
The first speaker is Vice Mayor Lydia Koo, Palo Alto. Second speaker is Councilmember Lynette Lee Eng from Los Altos. And Lisa Warren is following that. If you could please come to the podium. Welcome.
Thank you. First, I want to say congratulations for the re-election of Vice Mayor Liang Chao. I want to start with just saying to Councilmember Willey, you stepped up to serve your city and dedicated your time and energy preserving quality of life for your constituents. I want to say thank you to you and to your family for sharing you with the people of Palo Alto. And Mayor Paul, under your leadership, you have given the residents hope not to give up on government. As Henry Clay said, government is a trust, and the officers of the government are trustees. And both the truth and the trustees are created for the benefit of the people. You led with truth, pragmatism, reality, and not with the unachievable aspirations and ideology. Thank you for lifting up everyone's morale, for pushing the boundaries, and lifting up everyone during the difficult times. We will miss you both.
Thank you, Vice Mayor.
Councilmember Lynette Lee Eng.
Thank you so much. Boy, good thing I have it written down because I don't know if I can fit it all in the 90 seconds. So anyway, let me begin. I'm here to thank the wonderful council members of Cupertino who will be taking leave. It was a pleasure to work with the council that is clearly a high-functioning and cooperative working team. It is also beneficial due to the wonderful leadership and guidance of your mayor, Mayor Darcy Paul, who served for 3 mayoral terms. Thank you, Darcy. Mayor Paul has done a wonderful job making sure Cupertino maintained a positive presence. He represented Cupertino exceptionally as a spokesperson, champion on important issues, and a model representative for the Asian community. As a neighboring council member who is speaking for myself and not for my city, I appreciated working with Cupertino on housing legislation, Lehigh issues, and school safety concerns. Cupertino was fortunate to have Mayor Paul and Councilmember Willey, who was accessible to the community, empathetic, and responsive to their concerns. I would like to thank
10 seconds.
both. I would like to thank you both, and I appreciate all that you've done. And I would also, at this time, like to welcome the new council members. Thank you so much. And from your supporters, Agent Lee, as well as all your other supporters here today, I would like to give this to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Lynette.
Next we have Lisa Warren, followed by Tessa Parrish, followed by Richard Lowenthal.
Hi. And bye. Sorry. It's been my pleasure for 8+ years knowing you two gentlemen, John and Darcy. John, you're our Captain Democracy. You promised to represent residents. You did it. You did it with a smile when I know you wanted to grit your teeth. And thank you. You can't list everything the two of you have accomplished and this council as a whole has accomplished. It's written somewhere and it needs to be blasted somewhere for everyone to read, but I can't mention it all in 90 seconds. So, John, thank you. Thank you for putting yourself out there when you weren't so sure, and boy, you're a people pleaser in a very, very good way because you're so very honest. In your own words, Darcy Paul, thank you for bringing your brains and your integrity every time you show up. Also, you offer so much more, but those were the two key words you used in one of your speeches, so I'm letting you know you led by example.
10 seconds.
Yeah, what may not be mentioned is these two council members have young families, both of them, who sacrificed a lot to be up there. It's unusual for us to have that, and it's
Thank you, Lisa.
amazing. Thank you.
Next, we have Tessa Parrish, followed by Richard Lowenthal.
Hi, good evening, everybody. And yes, first, let me congratulate Liang. Great job, and I knew you could do it. Second, I had a whole speech for 3 minutes, but I'm going to cut it really, really short. It's a big day today, where the city's saying goodbye to a 15-year public servant, Darcy Paul. And first, when I first met him, I didn't know why he had such passionate followers. And then on the night of the election, he got a room for cold calling, and he was there from the morning to the afternoon. It was very humbling to watch you make all those phone calls, and I could tell he was serious and very dedicated. Then years of watching you so masterfully control the meetings and very diplomatically gear the meeting so that every side was heard was really quite a pleasure. And I understood why you had such passionate followers. So thank you. And to the family of both John Willey and their children, thank you for letting us borrow your parents, and hopefully the bragging rights and the pride that you have in knowing that your parents have made a big difference in the city. Hopefully that'll help a little bit, okay? John, you were amazing during campaign, and I don't think anyone has said the word resident as much as you have. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you, and Richard Lowenthal. Just a reminder to those who have submitted a blue speaker card, anyone that did not submit their blue speaker card before the first person was done speaking, the first 3 minutes had elapsed, the public comment period is closed for that. Welcome, Richard.
Thank you very much. I know what it's like to be up there, and I just want to express my appreciation for all the time and energy that you've put into leading our cities, John and Darcy. It's not easy. You have to give up on career, you have to give up on family time, you have to give a lot of yourself to study the issues and come before the city. You have to deal with some abuse in emails, and I know a little bit about that too. And we've not always agreed. I'll say that about John and Darcy and myself. But every day I appreciate the people who give their time, their energy, their family time. They give up on opportunities to make a heck of a lot more money and just serve our city. And I know you both always made your decisions believing that what you were doing was the best thing for our residents. I know you did that. I know every day that you came here, that's why you voted the way you did. Whether I agreed or not, I know in your heart you were voting for the residents. So thank you very much. Thank you for your service. We really appreciate, all of us do, appreciate your time and energy.
Next we have Muni Madipatla, followed by Susan Moore, followed by Patrick Kwok. Welcome, Muni.
Okay, good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Council members. So I'm Muni Madipatla, Cupertino resident, and on Planning Commission as well, but I'm here representing myself. I'd like to take this moment to thank outgoing Council member Darcy Paul and John Willey. Mayor Darcy Paul, thank you for your wonderful 8 years of service to the community, and 3 of them, in leadership role as, mayor. And Councilmember John, you set the bar very high for being the voice of community and the community engagement, right? You both have accomplished a lot, which I'll read, some few of them for the benefit of others. single-use plastic ordinance, SB9 design guidelines, EV charging ordinance, and purchasing of Toria Avenue annex for expansion of office instead of spending $70 million. Library expansion, via shuttle, dog off-leash program, park, and purchase of Lawrence Mitty Park, all-inclusive playground. The list goes on and on, right? Quite a few housing projects to add to that. And hiring of, excellent city staff, leadership staff, that Chris Jensen and, and the city manager and the previous manager. You both are leaving a better Cupertino for the residents than the one that you took charge. Thank you for your service.
Thank you, Mooney. Next we have Susan Moore, followed by Patrick Kwok, followed by Peggy Griffin. Welcome, Susan.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. You guys are amazing. It's such a joy for me to think back of all the things that you've done for us as residents. John, Willey, you are the epitome of resident focused, the poster boy. You check with everybody, you listen, you let everyone express themselves, you take in information, you're an engineer, you're very articulate and research everything, and then you take that information and report back all the sides, and it was just a joy to see that process, and I appreciate all the things, all the sacrifices you did, missing all those games and things with your children, just for us. And Darcy, your enthusiasm and tireless energy for Cupertino has been inspiring. One accomplishment I would like to highlight is that your particular skill in chairing the city council meetings. Despite the pandemic, the lockdown, and other challenges, council meetings with you at the helm have been a beautiful thing to observe from my cozy couch at home. Similar to the role of an airplane traffic controller, you consistently keep meetings on track, manage in person and Zoom functions simultaneously.
10
Remember
seconds.
whose turn it is, whether it be the council, resident, staff, or other. At the same time, you're kind, polite, set limits as needed, and accomplish the agenda and always finish on time or slightly over.
Thank you. Thank you, Susan. Next, we have Patrick Kwok, followed by Peggy Griffin and Santosh Rao.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and City Council and City staff. Patrick Kwok here, Cupertino residents. I just want to take this opportunity to thank the council members, especially the outgoing Mayor Darcy Paul and John Willey, for the strong dedication to the city and to the citizens of Cupertino. There are a lot of hours spent away from the family, and we really appreciate it. And Mayor Paul, you have demonstrated very strong leadership in the governance issues and also fiscal sustainability. And I think that you have broken the records, and as the previous speaker said, you have served three times as Mayor of Cupertino in 2 terms. Barbara Rogers, the Honorable Barbara Rogers served 3 times, but in 3 terms. So you are well liked and really appreciate your work. And for Councilman John Willey and my favorite council member, and you always put citizens or residents as number 1. And your countless hours, you never refused for a meeting, and I appreciate your time and commitment away from your family. And for all outgoing council members, thank you very much. And it's been a good memory, and I appreciate all your dedication to the city of Cupertino. Thank you.
Thank you, Patrick. We have Peggy Griffin, followed by Santosh Rao, followed by Alyssa Sakas.
Good evening, council members and staff. Mayor Paul, you have accomplished so much during your 8 years on city council and 3 times as mayor. With almost 3 years of COVID, you still have managed to increase transparency and communication with your council actions newsletter, increased study sessions and hybrid meetings. The library expansion was started and completed. A new East Side Park and all-inclusive playground are on their way, and making this council change a separate meeting was your idea. Thank you and your family for your contributions to this city. Councilman Willey, as everyone has been saying, you truly have become the voice of so many residents. Your commitment to listen and take action, adding more to your already busy life, is remarkable. Our emergency services department is in a safer location now. The City Hall remodel project has started in a fiscally responsible way, and residents have a better process for their cell tower concerns. You also got potential housing element property owners interested in participating. Thank you and your family for all you have done. Thank you.
Thank you, Peggy. Next, we have Santosh Rao, followed by Alyssa Sakas, followed by Mahesh Pakala.
First, let me welcome Liang Chao back to the City Council, as well as welcome all the newly elected members back to the City Council. I'd like to thank Mayor Darcy Paul and Councilmember John Willey for your service. 8 years is a long time. You've seen generations of council members, mayors, and vice mayors come and go through the City Council. You've served through the toughest period in 100 years, which is a pandemic, 2 years of City Council meeting, which was hybrid, and working through private and public officials for what you did. A lot of people have acknowledged what you served over your 8 years, but I think the most important thing you probably did was inspire a new generation of leaders, and I want to thank you for that. With or without your mentorship, I think a number of new leaders, both in the school district and in the City Council, have come forward, as well as served on campaigns. I want to thank John Willey for your integrity, and if there's one word that summarizes both of you, it is families. Both of you have had families, kids, and you've sat in through 12 a.m. meetings and 3 a.m. meetings, and thank you for your service. I do lastly want to say, while you may be outgoing here, you have another swearing in ceremony coming up, which is with your respective families. You're going to be swearing in with your families and recommitting time to your kids and families once again, and I hope you have a glorious, infinite term with them. Thank you for your service.
Thank you, Santosh. Next, we have Alyssa Sakas, followed by Mahesh Pakala, followed by Daryl Stowe.
Good evening, Mayor Paul, City Council members, City Manager, and City staff. I'm Alyssa Sakas, and I'm the president of the Cupertino Toyokawa Sister Cities, so I'm speaking on behalf of our committee. I have some of my committee members with me, Steve Sulgit, Terry Sulgit, Hiroko, Frederick. We had to divide and conquer. We have another event going on at the council in San Francisco, so we sent 3 up there, and the 4 of us are down here. But we wanted to thank both Mayor Paul and John Willey for your service. Thank you for your support to our program, particularly Mayor Paul. Thank you so much for leading our delegation the last time we went to Japan. It's been over 20 years since we had a sitting mayor lead our delegation, so we were very honored and privileged to have you with us, and it really added credibility to what we're doing. I thank all of the council members because you've all been very supportive. We won't fill out another blue card. I welcome the new council members and hope we enjoy the same level of support that we've had. Thank you very much to both John and Darcy.
Thank you, Elisa. Next, we have Mahesh Pakala, followed by Daryl Stowe, followed by Dana Tekmansky.
Thank you. And thank you, Mayor Darcy Paul and Willey and all the City Council members and the office, City of Cupertino office members. First of all, I would like to thank John Willey for really supporting the sister city. By the way, I'm Mahesh Pakala, and I'm from the Cupertino Community sister city. And I just want to thank John, who has been he's soft, but he has a big, hard backbone. He stands up for what he believes. So I think that is having backbone. If anybody wants to learn, they have to learn from John. John, thank you so much for all the support, all the phone calls when we were in tough times, and you did give your support. Without you, it wouldn't have been possible. And one more thing, John, as everybody said, you are very clear about your thoughts and your vision about how the sister city should function, how the city should function, everything, the clarity was pretty good. So now with all the service that you've given, I would like to hand you back to the your job at Applied Materials, and to your wife and the kids. Thank you again, John. And Darcy Paul, you have been an amazing friend for the last 8 years. We have been working together. If I look in the past, you have traveled with me to Bhubaneswar. That was an amazing trip. I still remember we traveled and visited many offices and places with you. That was a very good memories. And thank you so much for, again, supporting the Independence Day flag hoisting at the sister city, from the sister city at the city of Cupertino.
Thank you, Mahesh.
And the third one is the Heritage India Fair. Thank you again, and I'll be back. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Daryl Stowe, followed by Danessa Tekmansky, followed by Sashi Bigor, and our last speaker will be J.R. Fruen. Welcome, Daryl.
Thank you. Mayor Paul, council members, I'm Daryl Stowe, a 56-year resident of this community. I've seen a few of these before. And as the president of the Cupertino Historical Society and Museum, I sincerely want to thank this council for what you've done for our organization. Financially, certainly, but also your support in the community. We really could not thank you enough for what you've done for our future. And congratulations to Vice Mayor Chao for your re-election, and good luck, John and Paul. Thank you.
Thank you, Daryl. Next is Danessa Tekmansky, followed by Sashi Bigor, and our final speaker, J.R. Fruen.
Okay. Hi, my name is Danessa Tekmansky. I won't repeat the long list of accomplishments that you've all made. Liang, I wanted to say that I'm really thrilled that we still get to keep you for another 4 years. I'm so happy. John, thanks so much for always being a steadfast voice and for being so accessible to our residents. It's really been wonderful to have you. Mayor Darcy, you've served our city with such incredible integrity and strength through some very, very tough years. Thanks for always doing what you believe is fair and right in both your heart and your mind. Both you and John will sorely be missed. Sorry, I'm a little emotional here. And I also wanted to say welcome and best of luck to our new council members. It's good to have you. Thank you.
Thank you, Danessa. Next, we have Sashi Bigor, followed by J.R. Fruen. Welcome, Sashi.
Thank you, Mayor Paul and the council members for this opportunity. John Willey, what can I say? Such a patient and dedicated person, somebody with excellent analytical skills. You use that to make your decisions. There's just no word to describe how patient you are and how willing you are to listen to anybody and everybody who has an issue. Thank you very much. I think we should stop saying resident focused and just say John Willey. That's what it means. Anyway, thank you for your service. And Mayor Paul, I have to apologize. I didn't know you in 2014, so I don't know if I voted for you. But in 2018, I got to know you, and I'm not just impressed with your Harvard degree. I'm also impressed with you as a person. You're just amazing. There are so many things I've got to say about you. Let me see, I have some details here now. Basically, it's that you are a great listener, you're dedicated, and most of all, the thing that stands out for me is that you're fair. It doesn't matter who's speaking, what they're saying, you're always willing to listen to them. That's just really amazing. It's been a pleasure working with you on your campaign, and we hope we'll see you in some other position at some point. And then thank you very much for everything that you've done for the city. Both of you, thank you for your service. And Liang Chao, congratulations.
Thank you, Sashi. Next, we have our final speaker, J.R. Fruen.
Hello, my name is J.R. Fruen. I just want to thank both of you for your service. I'll echo a lot of what Richard Lowenthal had to say. We haven't agreed on a lot, but I've never doubted that you cared a great deal about this community and this city, and that you've put in a huge amount of time that you could have definitely spent in some other way. And that merits comment. Thank you so much. And in particular, John, I wish you many, many, many winning basketball games.
Thank you, JR. And Mayor, I will hand it back over to you.
Okay, thank you very much. And we are on to 2C. This is the recognition of outgoing Councilmember John Robert Willey. And I believe that will be handled by our city manager, Pamela Wu. Is that led by?
Yes, Mayor, if we could invite City Manager Pamela Wu as well as the council members onto the front of the dais.
Okay, sounds
we
good.
have a gift we would like to present for Councilmember Willey's service as council member.
Great. So to let everyone know, we'll first provide our thank yous to Councilmember Willey, come back, and then I believe my colleagues would like to say a few words to Councilmember Willey as he exits the dais. All right, let's do it.
Good evening. My name is Pamela Wu, City Manager for City of Cupertino. I have the honor to present you, Councilmember Willey. Your effort, your dedication to the city will never go unnoticed. Your contribution to making Cupertino a better place for the residents will never go unnoticed. With this small token of appreciation on behalf of the city and the staff, we thank you for your service. Mayor Paul.
Okay, we'll go back up to the dais at this time to share our thoughts and a few words for Councilmember Willey. And I believe that the city staff wants to take a quick photo.
Tim, you scoot in a little bit. There you go. All of you just shift a little that way. There you go. Nailed it. Cool. Thank you.
Okay, so at this time, we'll open it up for my fellow colleagues and myself to say a few words to John, and I believe that John will give you the last word for this part of the agenda. Would anyone like to go first? Yeah. Oh, Councilmember Way.
I want to say, John, 2 years ago when I got elected and I, got to know you, and you are really resident focused. So I'm going to take the word from one of the speakers. But next time when we say resident focused, we're just going to say John Willey focused. And 4 years on council, the time and energy you put into the council away from your family, I really admire that. I couldn't have done that if I had young kids like you do. So you do split your time between the council, but I think you spend more time on the council than the basketball games and the things that you should spend with your family. That sacrifice has not been unnoticed. People know that, and people really appreciate it. And I would take that as a role model. Because even though I don't have kids, I do have a grandchild right now, and I will, focus my energy on the city issues, and also hopefully I will do what you said, because we are resident focused, and I was gonna say John Willey focused from now on. And so, your kids are still young, and you set great examples for them, and you set great examples for everyone who has young children that they can do it. So we are not going to let that stop from anybody to do public service. So thank you for setting that role model.
Okay. Thank you very much, Councilmember Way. Would either of my other Vice Mayor Chao?
Hi, John.
So we first met at a town hall meeting hosted, I think, by Barry Chen at the time, the former council member. But then after that, we have attended multiple city council meetings together. You always come well prepared with charts, numbers, diagrams, and you pounded on the table and so passionate about your speech. And we worked together through those tough times. But I never realized how good you will be on the council actually until after you got elected. I think you really has developed grow a lot in your speaking ability and your ability to really capture the point and get it through quickly, and your integrity, your passion just comes through in all the speeches that you make. And so you are an example that I'm telling other people. If someone tells me, I'm not qualified to be a city council member, I said, look at John Willey. He from an engineer. He grew into such an excellent council member in 4 years, and just well beyond that anything I could. I think it's just you have grown so much that I'm trying to keep up with you. I hope that I can speak, make those points across like you to be so strong and straightforward. So thank you. You really is a role model, and you has been such a great partner, always being supportive on the council. And I will be so sad to lose you, but I hope that we continue to collaborate on more community and residents focused John Willey initiative. Thank you.
Councilmember Moore. Thank you, Vice Mayor Chao.
Thank you. And I think this is the most people we've seen in 2 years. It sounds looks about far. Right. Okay. So I first met Councilmember Willey in 2016 and recognized and appreciated his thoughtful engineering approach to data from the start. Fast forward 6 years, and we most recently served on the City Hall subcommittee together, doing a deep dive into the seismic design and multiple cost scenarios, while discovering that his brilliant suggestion to purchase the Tory Annex, which was brought up to Mayor Paul and championed, ultimately saved the city over $500,000 for an emergency operations center. John put his foot down on contract overruns and helped develop the internal controls topics, rein in attorney fees from outside counsel, make sure legal fees were passed on to developers, and guide through multiple work plan and budget meetings, creating the roadmap for the city's future, including the improvements at Memorial Park and the all-inclusive playground. John really likes to bring up the city's organizational chart, because at the very top of it is not the manager or the council, but the citizens of Cupertino, the residents. And John has said many times, and the proof is in his actions and votes, that he is here for the residents. John suggested and advanced the Homelessness Jobs Program, which is in its second year, graduating homeless individuals onto permanent housing and employment. Councilmember Willey has helped the residents for years with the 5G issue, which just this week was heard for recommendations for an ordinance. Thank you also to John's family for their support, and we are glad that he will have more time to watch his kids playing basketball, but be sure to come visit and always share what you think, because we will honor your work and be here for the residents. Thank you, Councilmember Willey. You're an exemplary member of the council team, and you will be missed.
Thank you, Councilmember Moore. Well, John, I'm going to go ahead in respect of the evening and making sure that we get this done in a reasonably efficient manner. Just simply express my heartfelt thank you. It's been a wonderful last 4 years. I do remember there was an allusion to 10455 Torrey Avenue as that annex, and I think people kind of misjudge and underestimate you, Councilmember Willey. I've heard people call you Councilmember Wiley over the years a number of times, and sometimes I think, that's actually probably a bit more apropos. There's a bit of a bit of strategy that a lot of people are missing in how you go about conducting your very straightforward deliberation and trying to make sure that you're doing right by the community. And I will say it without equivocation. I think that you have done really well by the community in these last several years, and I lament the fact that you did make that decision, but it was the decision on behalf of your family, and I deeply respect that. At the end of the day, that you want to be able to spend that time with particularly your younger children as they're growing up. And I'll miss the time that we worked together. And Councilmember Willey, with regard to that particular item, roughly a year, a little bit more ago, you were consistently calling me and saying, hey, look, there are opportunities here, and I believe that we should go ahead and get these types of problems, resolved. And over time, I've come to realize you're absolutely right. I know that opinions vary, but I think that if you're talking about expanding the capital base of the public assets and resolving particular issues such as things that are in flux like office space for the city employees relatively quickly, that pretty much hits it out of the park. And I wish you the very best in your future endeavors, Councilmember Willey. And if you are true to what you've been expressing to me, perhaps we will have the endeavor rerun again, so to speak, in the reasonably near enough future. But Councilmember Willey, John, I'm proud to call you my friend, and thank you for your service these past 4 years.
Mayor Paul, if I may, before Councilmember Willey shares his thought.
City Manager.
I was informed that we actually have a special guest. We have Brian Pascal, Senior Policy Advisor from Supervisor Smithian's office, with a very special guest. If I can have Councilmember Willey join me in the front
Absolutely,
with
please.
that presentation.
The Board of Supervisors awarded you this commendation unanimously at their last board meeting last week, and we wanted to thank you for your service. Supervisor Smithian couldn't make it tonight, so he sent me.
I'll definitely make a comment. Joe Smithian is just such a wonderful person. Having interacted with him on a couple committee assignments, and then at the various things for the city, and his resident-focused, efforts, with Lehigh and the homelessness, they both ring so important to me, and to know that we've got a champion like Joe working on that Lehigh issue, the pollution and what to do with it, and then the homelessness. Knowing that we've got support from the supervisors is just wonderful. So thank you. Thank Joe for me, please.
I will certainly do that.
Hey, thank you. And I believe that Councilmember Willey would like to make some concluding remarks. And so, Councilmember, you have the floor.
Oh, okay. Wow. Speaking up here for 4 years. Wow. Has it really been 4 years? Well, yes, it has been 4 years. A busy 4 years. Am I 90 seconds or 3 minutes?
Take your time.
Yeah. So we have had a lot of accomplishments over the 4 years, but I'm as has been said, I'm only going to focus on one. Resident engagement. Is it an accomplishment? Yes.
Yes, I'm here because I wanted the City Council to do a better job of listening to the community when making city decisions. Truly, I'm a firm believer in democracy, and that elected officials have a duty to be listening to the community that elected them and making all decisions based on the will of the community majority. That's democracy. So here in Cupertino, it's home to you 64,000 residents. And for the last 4 years, I've had the honor to meet with so many of you, discuss your thoughts, your concerns, your ideas. At city events, at my organized park walks, at my community roundtable meetings, a few town halls, many, many phone calls, hundreds and hundreds, realistically thousands of emails. Anytime somebody wanted to meet, I did everything possible to make that happen. That's an accomplishment. Well, I'll go on to say that being on the City Council has some unforeseen consequence. When you elected me to represent you on this council, I had the pleasure to meet and work with so many great people, our resident commissioners, our city staff, and of course, these fellow councilmen. Unintended consequence. For Councilmember Moore and Way, it's been a joy. They've shown their dedication to the community for the last 2 years that I've been up here. They've been listening attentively, working with us in deliberations, adding suggestions and comments, so that we as a council of 5 arrive at the best decisions for you, our community. Thank you, Councilman Moore and Councilman Way. Thank you. Vice Mayor Chao, you've proven such great leadership that will assist in the mayor's role. She's done such a thorough investigation of all the important aspects. Really, her PhD, she is so thorough. With each of the items that have come to us on the council agenda, when we then have to cast our votes, I am always confident that with Vice Mayor Chao's help, we've looked at all the issues. Then, of course, over the past 4 years, Vice Mayor Chao and I have held several joint community engagement meetings. And once again, it's a joy to work with somebody who is so committed to the community, listening to the community. Our esteemed Mayor Paul. Yes, esteemed Mayor Paul. For the last 2 consecutive years, you have steered this council through the pandemic and all its obstacles. There was no game plan. There was no playbook. And I can tell you, the community, from where I sit, being mayor is a huge task in and of itself. But add to that the pandemic and all the city challenges. Mayor Paul has clearly exceeded by far the normal expectations. Amazing. This council has been able to continue to address all the important city decisions during these very challenging times. I can't stress enough, 2 consecutive terms with a young family. Mayor Paul, a sincere thank you. And to all 5 of these 4 councilmen, I truly feel that you are now my lifelong friends. Unintended consequence. Okay, couple more seconds here. I must thank my wife, Amor, and and my 3 children, Ethan, Alexandra, and Matthew. Four years of missed dinners and missed events where they were hoping I was going to join them. So thank you, Amor. Thank you, Ethan. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Matthew. So I like to leave on a happy note. What's left to say? Well, maybe tomorrow you'll wonder what Councilman Willey is now up to since he's not on the council anymore. Well, I'm happy to say at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, anybody want to join me? That's great. 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, I will be back in the basketball gym with my new NBA basketball team of kids with Matthew, one of my team members. But I'll go on to say, this time it's a little different than before I was on the city council, because I had to give it up to be on the city council. But this time it's a little different. Ethan is now 15. He's an awesome basketball player. And I've enlisted him to be my assistant. So me and Ethan will both be out there on the court. So with all that, I want to thank the community for giving me the opportunity to serve you. We hear about a so-called bucket list. It was never on my bucket list to be on the city council. But shortly after getting on the city council, I put it on my bucket list, and I am now checking it off. Thank you. It was you who elected me to be up here and represent you. So with that, I think it's a good time for me to say good night.
We'll stand by.
Yeah.
Alrighty, I do want to let everyone know we're going to go ahead and finish out this item on 2D next. We do have a recess after that for 10 minutes. There will be a rearrangement, of course, with the oath of the newly elected council members. Just letting everyone know the oaths of office will take place first, and then we'll take public comment. And so that'll be, so you see 3A says public comment and 3B says oath of office, but we're switching that order around. And so now we have 2D, and that's the recognition of myself. So I guess let's all go to the front of the dais and repeat.
Mayor Paul, if I may.
Oh, sure, absolutely, Pamela, go ahead.
If we could ask Vice Mayor Chao to take over the portion to recognize you.
Of course. Shall we play the musical chairs, or should I just go ahead and?
I think
right.
Where you are is perfectly fine.
All right, perfectly good. Okay, Vice Mayor.
Okay, great. So that's City Manager. Would you like to recognize the Mayor, Darcy Paul? The staff has a recognition.
Of course. Thank you, Vice Mayor Chao. I do have multiple gifts, so please bear with me. I also have another gift, and if I can ask council to join me in the front as well.
Sure.
Mayor Paul, I don't know where to start, but thank you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for your 8 years of hard service in this office. You have left the community a better place than how we found it yesterday. You also have left a big footprint in the community and a very big shoe to fill. Thank you for your visionary. Thank you for your leadership. Small token of our appreciation from the city team and on behalf of the city. In addition, on behalf of City Council, we want to recognize you with a crystal gavel signifying and recognizing your leadership and your visionary. Thank you. Also, if I can have Brian Pascal, Senior Policy Advisor from Supervisor Smithian's office, to share your appreciation as well.
Of course. Thank you as well for your service. Hey, stranger. Yeah, it's
And if we could, Councilmember Willey, would you like to bring your proclamation? We can take a picture together.
Good to see you. See you again. Yeah, I know.
If we can ask the council members, family members to also join us for a photo opportunity. So Tori, you tell us how we should stand, and kids on the front. Let me take that for you, so you're not. Are you good? Are you good?
A little bit, perfect. All right, big smiles. Ready? In 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay.
Well, I guess you have it, Vice Mayor.
Yeah.
May have to ask Evan to come to the party.
Wow. I didn't know you will get so much gift, right? I should have fought you for the mayorship last year. So, yeah, I'm so used to having Darcy being taking the lead. So now I think council members will have some comment. Councilmember Moore would like to go first. Okay. So.
Okay. And I don't have a time limit, and no one can mute me. This is awesome. Okay, so Mayor Paul has served 15 years with wisdom, grace, unparalleled selflessness, intelligence, and empathy. There is no adequate amount of gratitude which could be expressed by myself and our residents to balance these gifts which the mayor has given our community. Mayor Paul always goes out of his way to lend a hand, taking us to the freeway to pick up all kinds of trash, for example. He is singularly accomplished and wants others to succeed and is an excellent advisor. When Mayor Paul was first mayor in 2018, the city ship was listing and needed care. Fast forward to this year and his third year as mayor, his list of accomplishments are many. And I'm going to repeat some you've heard, but I'm going to keep pressing on. His efforts to acquire Lawrence Mitty property for a park on the park-deficient east side succeeded with the annexation of the land. He championed the library expansion, which the public began enjoying this year. He communicated all of the events and actions of council with the new Council Actions newsletter and his Mayor's Corner column. Operationally, the internal audit has continued under his previous council's initialization, improving internal controls, adding a fraud, waste, and abuse hotline, streamlining processes, developing policies to optimize efficiency and accountability. That may sound dry, but after 14-year embezzlement announced in 2018 and the Great Resignation among cities, it is smart and important work. Mayor Paul has served multiple outside committees and boards, notably the VTA board. which is a major time commitment in itself. But he has served through the toughest times that agency has seen, which multiplied the work and the nature of it, which included heartbreaking memorial services after the mass shooting, ransomware attack, and challenges of keeping drivers and passengers safe during COVID. The mayor has started the inaugural Mayor's Cup Challenge to help the environment through plastics education and helped pass the single-use plastic ordinance. He welcomed and mentored interns, supported our sister cities, Friendship Cities, Historical Society, which finally has recently signed an agreement with the city to preserve and expand their beneficial service. The mayor has worked to stop racism through multiple educational events and trips to places like Angel Island and connected with Japantown and the Chinese Historical Society of America Museum. After 20 years, the Economic Development Committee ordinance and duties have been addressed and passed, with a committee being appointed this month to benefit our entire business community. He has ensured that the city keep an eye on Lehigh and to enforce that no workers or residents are harmed by hazardous waste on developments like Valco. Mayor Paul's last action on Tuesday night was to agendize his compassionate request for transitional homeless housing like our surrounding cities have been installing to provide safe personal shelter for our vulnerable unhoused population. Mayor Paul led us through our hiring process, ultimately leading to generational hires with our city manager, Pamela Wu, and our in-house city attorney, Chris Jensen. Through his outstanding leadership, the mayor has set our ship to rights. Mayor Paul is termed out, that is true, but the indelible changes he has made to the city has led to a trajectory of optimal operational excellence, community service ethos, and tone from the top of equity, accountability, and transparency on a steady foundation with a clear path to future success. Thank you, Mayor Paul, for your incredible service. Thank you to your family for their support. And please know that you set the bar for us in the stratosphere. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Moore. And who would like to comment? Councilmember Wei?
So, Mayor Paul, Councilmember Moore said all about your achievements. What I'm going to talk about is your heart. I think you are the one of the persons I've ever seen as a public official who are so passionate, dedicated, and committed to your job. I don't know how many phone calls I got from you about doing things and this. That's detailed, and then I admire for your dedication and your passion and your heart. I just feel that you leave a big shoe for every one of us to fill, and we are going to make sure you're proud of us. And I understand 8 years of service is a sacrifice from your wife and your kids, but I think you manage it very well. You spend time with your kids, but also take care of the city affairs. So that's something we need to learn too. Again, I do believe that you are not going to disappear from Cupertino, and I just really glad that Councilmember Moore said all the achievements, but I want the public to notice of your heart and the passion and the dedication and commitment you are here for our city. Thank you.
Okay, so Councilmember Willey, would you like to go next?
Thank you, Vice Mayor Chao. Yeah, 4 years ago when I first met our Mayor Paul, you can tell he's always smiling. And when I first met him, the warmth that you feel when you meet him, you feel that you're a valued person, that he's genuinely interested in you. So nice to have him on the dais with us, being able to relax knowing that we have this type of mayor to work with. But his knowledge as an attorney, a Harvard doctorate, is, in my view, only surpassed by his genuineness as a human being. Every time I hear him talking with people or working on issues, what he conveys, as we saw in the video a little bit earlier, for the LGBTQ flag raising, the genuineness, that he doesn't see people as particular items. Everybody is important to this person. And for us to have that with us on this dais is amazing. I truly feel that this community has benefited so much by this individual. I just really hope the community understands the 8 years that this community has benefited from him. I'll gladly say the typical cliche, you have a big set of shoes to be filled. You have a big set of shoes to be filled. That is a good thing. That is a heck of a legacy to leave behind. You left a pair of shoes that were going to be hard to fill, and it raises the bar for the next one. So thank you, Mayor Paul. Thank you as a new lifetime friend.
Okay, now my turn. So when I didn't really know Darcy before I got elected, but when I was first sworn in 2018, December, the city had no city manager and no city attorney at the time. And it was under the leadership through the mayor that we were we explored different options so that we can have excellent legal representation while still saving taxpayer dollars. And then now we have a much stable legal representation and a stable much better improving city manager with us. But through the 4 years, we hired 2 other city managers, Deb Fan and Jim Troop. And each time I can see that you worked tirelessly communicating with everyone, with the consultants, to make sure that we explore all the options, interview all the candidates, and everyone's input is considered. And then throughout the years, sometimes we do have contentious issues, and you will always slow down to find compromise the solution. Even when there is majority to actually pass the item, you will slow down to find a compromise so that we really listen to the minority dissenting voice. And I really respect your way of trying to get consensus among the council. And also, I think I really learned from you how to get things done. That's, for example, the library expansion project. It was stalled before because it was tied with the new city hall. But then I see that you tirelessly continued to advocate for the project, and then eventually it was able to finally get started and then now it's completed in 4 years. And then the Lawrence Meaty project is another one that's very complicated. It has a different ownership issue. I think any other people would just think it's not possible. They'll find excuses that the project couldn't be done. But you don't give up. You would keep pushing, keep looking at different ways to solve the problem, working with different agencies to solve the problem. And I really admire watching your work and hope I can learn from you, but it's very hard. It's like they said, a very big shoes to fill. And the first thing that we worked together was the community commission handbook. it was a result. Also, we had to rescind the code of ethics from the last council because it was adopted in an agenda item that's meant to improve communication with commissions. But that item only got very informal feedback, verbal feedback from commissions. And then we realized that that's not how we better improve that item. So we formed the subcommittee and actually got feedback from each, written feedback from the commissioners. And then we worked that was when I first find out that, okay, we collected all the feedback and we wrote a very long recommendation from the subcommittee on how we can improve the process, empower commissioners so they can be more engaged in their meetings. And I see how you meticulously go through every item to make sure that there is a concrete recommendation from the subcommittee. And that was the first thing, but then I see that through the 4 years, you carried this kind of meticulous thing for everything that you do. And I won't be able to make this comment later, but I'm honored today that I'm asking you to swear me in when I take the oath of office, because you are someone that I really look up to, and then you always tell me, if you want to see anything get done, you need to get your hands dirty to really do it yourself, and you need to follow through, not just give out ideas. And then so you are always very straightforward on how I can improve myself to be a more effective council member. I think I'm not there yet, but I really hope that in the next 4 years, that's something I can live up to be as effective and as you have been. So really sad to see you go, and I have no regret that you served as mayor this year, because I see that you have spent so much time improved how the city does things. You get all the council members to attend many of the grand openings. You got all council members to attend a lot of community events. That was never done before. And then you took the time to publish the council action letter so that the community is informed about the actions taken by the council, and including pictures and all the events that we do. I think it's really, really hard to follow you. And so, yeah, and then the highway cleanup, the creek cleanup, your heart is always there, what we can do more for the community. So really going to miss you, but I'm going to keep calling you to to get advice on how to be a better council member. Thank you.
You know, to my colleagues, I don't know what to say. It really is, you know, very overwhelming to be presented with this, but. You know, I know that the agenda is very full this evening, and I just want to make sure that we are respectful of the public for making it out here. This is amazing. I haven't seen this many people inside of Community Hall ever since I think I got sworn in the first time in 2014, which was a very different kind of atmosphere. And we're talking about a number of different hearings with regard to of all things off-leash dogs back in 2009, which is when I ran the first time. The various development issues that we've gone over many years, and I didn't prepare a set of remarks this evening because I think that it is most important to bring this back to the community and my colleagues. You know, I think that the work that we've worked on this term, I consider it a 2-year term, really just stands for itself. We really had a number of things that we brought back to the community. We've had groundbreakings, we've had ribbon cuttings, we've responded to a number of various issues. If there is an increase in the amount of litter along the highways, as was alluded to, we've been able not only to pull members of the community together to get that cleaned up, but we also did it in an incredibly cost-effective fashion. And just very briefly, the way that came about actually was a series of grants that were available to the public that we didn't quite turn around fast enough to apply for. But what we realized was that if you reach out to Caltrans, for instance, which is what we did, we could get a lot done. And at the same time, VTA actually had a grant that was applied for by that agency. I sit on the board and was able to hear from a Caltrans representative of our local area and just get that set of communications done. So just over the course of time, I'm certainly not going to go through the laundry list of things that we've accomplished together. I will say that through the political process of discourse, I think that we are, all of us, an incredible work in progress. I look around our community, and what I realize is that it is by no accident that you had 3 seats in Cupertino and you had 8 people running. And you look around our area, there's a lot of fatigue. There are places, there are other jurisdictions where you have a couple or a few seats and you have a couple or a few candidates. And if you look at the quality of the discourse and the public debates that are going on in Cupertino, I'm deeply proud when I look on both sides of the aisles of any of these, because it comes down to substance. And people have said things in the last couple of years, such as, we're not particularly diverse. And I just, it was a moment from the dais, I thought that, I'm not sure if you're actually in Cupertino when you look around and you say something like that. But what I realized, and it's a fair point made, they talked about socioeconomic diversity. And, truly a statement to be made, when I first moved here in 2005, I came here to work for a law firm that's right up Torrey Avenue, or used to be right up Torrey Avenue. And some of the associates were looking at some of these, house price listings, and they were looking at Rancho Rinconada and going, well, I can't believe this is $600,000. And then, on the other side of town, you had your $1 million houses, and that was basically the dichotomy in Cupertino, right? You had the half that wasn't quite at $1 million and the half that was. And really, over the course of the last 15 years, I don't want to describe it as a tide that has lifted all boats, but if you look inside of Cupertino and what's been going on in the public discourse and in our various activities, it is indisputable that people want to be here, and there is a reason that people want to be here. So I don't think that we should look away from the fact that intrinsically, in a lot of these various discussions that we're having, it's a matter of fostering success. But at the same time, it's a matter of recognizing that there's a lot of need out there as well. And so, the various conversations we've been having, ultimately, from my own, perspective, a lot of it is driven by, a number of factors. One of them is the profit margin that you want to, kind of have if you're a private interest. Some of it is, power dynamics. But at the end of it, I think that one very common strand among each and every one of the community members that I've seen and interacted with over the years, and I apologize for not naming names. Once I start with my council members and colleagues, I have to think about the colleagues I've had over the years, right, going back to 2014. But one common strand is a sense of compassion. We really have a sense of compassion in Cupertino. And what I found, if I want to, kind of socialize a sort of a next to last sort of lesson, if you will, it's that if you speak to that common denominator, you can really get a lot done in Cupertino. And that's why, as my last action in our Tuesday meeting, I wanted to make sure that we're thinking about providing supportive services and supportive housing for the people that are just most direly in need, the truly direly, removing anything like, bottom line and what we're trying to get out of it. We really need to kind of pull together as a community and provide that type of facility without, trying to think about what the parade of horribles are, because as we're doing it and as we're listening to the public input, we can definitively have a Cupertino approach that's very successful and effective at, discharging all the various concerns. Now, my last lesson is going to be to thank everyone, but also to hearken back to a conversation I had with the other 3-time mayor of Cupertino, that's Barbara Rogers, and she once said to me, we had such a collegial environment on the city council when I was on the council, and we would go out and, grab a meal, maybe some drinks after, the meeting. And I thought to myself, my very first council meeting here, it ended at 2 a.m. after swearing in, but it was actually a 2-parter. As the president of the Chamber of Commerce that year, I had a board dinner that I was thinking I could go to on that Wednesday night, and we ended up having to continue it. And then sure enough, on that meeting, we went to 3 a.m. in the continued meeting, although it started a little bit later. And I thought, I don't think anything's really open other than perhaps Donut Wheel at 2 or 3 a.m. And I'm not so sure that they're taking people in seats at that time nonetheless. Recently we had the opportunity to take a number of ribbon cuttings, and one of those was actually pretty ad hoc. I heard that the business, the Holders Country Inn, had relocated over to where the Steins Beer Garden used to be, over on the corner of Valco Parkway and Wolf. And I said, hey, why don't we welcome the San Jose institution into Cupertino? And we went over there, we conducted the ribbon cutting, and I have a number of people here tonight, and I'd like to bring them over, which is why I'm sorry, but from a selfish perspective, I asked for the swearing in prior to all the public comment in the next item, and noticed that they close at midnight. And so I think I will go ahead and issue a bit of a challenge to the future colleagues that you have on council and the ones that are staying on. If you can get done with this meeting before midnight, I will be over at Holders together, I don't know with the owner, but the owner, Efren Flores, is here with his lovely wife, Monica, sitting behind my wife and children. And we'll be very happy to have that kind of collegial, and Mr. City Attorney, Madam City Manager, Madam City Clerk, you're all welcome to join us, and we'll be honest and not, discuss public business to that extent. But, in all seriousness, it's just been such an honor and a privilege, and I don't know precisely what to say at this point, other than to state that I'm really filled with gratitude for the opportunity to be able to help various sectors of the community. As I look from face to face, there are just stories that fill, volumes, and I hope that we carry that with us as we go forward. And thank you very much. The city of Cupertino will continue to be a tremendous city, and we will do what we need to do in order to make sure that the envelope gets pushed from one sector all the way to the various of the details that comprise our community and society. So thank you very much, everyone. We're going to bring this back to Vice Mayor Chao now, and I thank you so much. And if I may, Vice Mayor Chao, I did want to conclude this. People ask my future plans, and a couple of days ago, I woke up and I was talked to by my younger daughter, Annabelle, who's sitting next to my wife, Sharon, and Allison. And she pointed out, hey, you've been on council my entire life, in a couple of days. That's going to be the first day that you're not a council member. And, it kind of, the heart melt is a bit of, an understatement, I think, because of the fact that, yes, it is a fairly significant investment of time. And, I really appreciate the sacrifices that have been made on behalf of, the community by my family. So thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Allison. Thank you, Annabelle. And we'll have new adventures and ones that aren't, quite as Councilmember Willey said, trammeled by the various late nights and the meetings and, this and that. So thank you very much, guys.
Yeah, I think that everyone saw that in the video when Darcy was first sworn in. Annabelle was a baby. Really, it's her whole lifetime. And I did remember 4 years ago, Matthew was also a very toddler, too. He was 2, right? He was, yeah, also very young. So amazing that with your young family that you devote your time to serve the Cupertino community. Thank you both very much, and thank your family very much. We are so honored to have you. Yeah. So now we will take 10 minutes recess and then come back for the oath of office first and then public comment. Okay.
So now we are on to the oath of office for recently elected council members. So I would first like to invite the first place elected council member, Sheila Mohan, to the front of the dais. And Sheila, you are right where you're supposed to be. And I understand you have former Cupertino Mayor Gilbert Wong administering your oath of office. That's correct. Okay, and so I'd like to invite. And you would like, of course, so you would like to invite your husband on to the dais as well, the stage as well. So please, Ram, please join us.
Before I give the official oath of office to our newly elected Sheila Mohan, I just want to say thank you for being here. This is really an excitement for the community. As a former mayor, I'm also was very excited. And just to see, I was very helpful in her campaign, but this is a great team. I met with Sheila and her husband and her family, that out of all the people that I have helped, including Mayor Darcy Paul, Sheila is one of my excellent students. She gets an A++, So with that, if you can please repeat after me with your right hand up. Please repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Sheila Mohan,
Do solemnly swear to support
do solemnly swear to support
and defend the Constitution of the United States
and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and to the Constitution of the State of California,
and to the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservations or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter for the city of Cupertino. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And thank you. So our new council member, Mohan, if you would please take a seat, I will show you. It would be the one vacated by Councilmember Willey. Okay, so next we will have the person who received the second highest votes, Councilmember Liang Chao. Please come to the front of the dais for your oath of office. And I understand you would like former Cupertino Mayor Darcy Paul to administer your oath of office.
Hi, long time no see. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Vice Mayor Chao, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Liang Chao,
Do solemnly swear to support and defend
do solemnly swear to support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and to the Constitution of the State of California,
and to the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take the obligation freely
that I take the obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
and I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties upon which
discharge the duties upon which
I am about to enter
for the city
of Cupertino. Congratulations.
Thank you, and Councilmember Chao, you have already taken the correct seat, vacated by Darcy Paul. Next, I would like to invite the person who received the third highest number of votes, Councilmember-elect J.R. Fruen, to the dais. And I understand and Dr. Clifton Durbing, husband of J.R. Fruen, will be administering the oath of office. And also, J.R.'s family will be joining him on stage. As well as Neil Park McClintock.
Hi. Hi. You sure you're ready?
As ready as I'm ever going to be.
Love it. Okay. You can raise your right hand, please. Repeat after me for the oath of office. I,
J.R. Fruen,
do solemnly swear
to
support and defend
the
Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that
I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States
and to the Constitution of
the State of California,
that
I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter for the city of Cupertino. Congratulations.
And Councilmember Fruen, would you please take the seat alongside Councilmember Mohan? And now I will turn the meeting back to Councilmember Chao.
No. Thank you, Madam City Clerk. Welcome, City Council. Congratulations on the newly elected. Looking forward to work with you. This will be my very first ask. I would like to recommend Councilmember Chao to be the presiding officer to take over item 4A and B for the process of selection the new mayor, if you would entertain me. Before we do that, Councilmember Chao, well, thank you for the reminder, all of you doing my job. Would you mind take the public comments?
Okay, great. Welcome, new council members. And so it's exciting that we have Cupertino is starting another new chapter. So we have public comments, and it's a thick stack. So I think the city, I was recommended that maybe we do 1 minute each. So could the city clerk please call according? I think similarly, the first, if it's 1 minute each, the first 3 speakers or 3 minutes, whichever is up. Then if you want to hand in your blue card, you can still do it now in 3 minutes. So city clerk, thank you.
All right, thank you, Councilmember Chao. So we have the first 3 speakers will be Peggy Griffin, Muni Matipatla, and Richard Mellinger. We have about 21 speaker cards.
Good evening, council members.
Council member Moore.
I just want to make sure that this is the topic is the oath of office of recently elected council members. I just want to make sure that we're all on item 3. Okay, thank you.
We are on item 3, and we have elected to do the oath first, and then we take public comment on item 3. So this is you should be speaking on the agenda item. Yeah, thank you.
Ready? Good evening, council members and staff. I'd like to welcome and congratulate all the newly elected council members and wish you well in the next 4 years. And Vice Mayor Chao, I'd like to congratulate you on your reelection. You have the ability to inspire people to get involved and participate. You question and don't assume, and you connect people in and out of Cupertino. I look forward to having a wonderful 4 years with you all. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, Peggy. Next we have Muni Matipatla, followed by Richard Mellinger, followed by Mahesh and Reena.
I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate Vice Mayor Liang Chao on our re-election, and the new council members Sheila, Mohan, and J.R. Fruen. Congratulations and welcome to the City Council. I hope the new City Council follows in the footsteps of the previous council in terms of community engagement and being John Willey focused. Right, I'm going. and so welcome and looking forward to working with you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Muni. Next we have Richard Mellinger, followed by Mahesh and Reena, followed by Rick Kitson.
Good evening. My name is Richard Mellinger, City Council Member-elect for Sunnyvale District 5, speaking solely on my own behalf. I want to thank and congratulate all of the newly elected council members for putting themselves forward and running such a strong race. And congratulations to all of you. I want to speak for one moment about my very good friend, J.R. Fruen. I met J.R., 4 or 5 years ago, and I was immediately impressed. I immediately thought, this is a man who should be on City Council. This is a man I wish we could have on our city council. This is a first-rate intellect. This is a man with a deep, tremendous knowledge of the law, of policy, of process. This is a man who understands it, and beyond all of that, he has such a strong moral core, such a strong core of decency. It's with such pride that I'll be able to call you an intercity colleague. Thank you so much, and I look forward to watching you over the next 4 years.
Thank you. Next, we have Mahesh. Welcome, Mahesh.
Yep, thank you. Again, Mahesh Pakala. I'm from the Cupertino Community sister city. And thank you again. And I would like to congratulate Liang Chao for the re-election. Really excited about that. And most importantly, as you all know, I've been involved with the community work for the last 30 years, but what really gives me pleasure is that we have an Indian American elected, and I'm really proud for the community here. Thank you. Sheila, you make us proud, and as I said, I've been working in the community, and there's nothing better than that. Thank you. And of course, JR, I've known him for a few years now. Like the previous gentleman said, he is one of the most polite and amazing human being. And I'm really excited with the diverse community that we see on them as a city council members. I've never seen any other city council member with such a diverse council member. So it'll be amazing. And the last but last, I want to also congratulate all of you for their service. Thank you.
Thank you, Mahesh. Next, we have Rick Hitson, followed by Anjali Kauser, followed by Daryl Stowe. And the period to submit speaker cards for this section has been closed.
Great. Thank you. Council members, on behalf of the Cupertino Chamber of Commerce, it's my pleasure to serve as the executive director there. And although I'm not authorized by the board, by the fact that we have a quorum of them here I think I can say on behalf of the Chamber of Commerce that it is, we're very grateful for your service. We have Liang, you 4 more years to sign up and serve. That's impressive. JR, you can't go anywhere in Cupertino without bumping into JR. And it turns out Sheila and I have some history where it's kind of like parallel play with kids where we're always around one another, and it's wonderful to see such a highly qualified person coming in, stepping in, and joining such a wonderful team of representatives. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Anjali Kauser, followed by Daryl Stowe, followed by Kathy Stakey.
Thank you, and congratulations to all our newly elected city council members. I'm Anjali Kauser, a longtime supporter in Cupertino, and I want to give a big shout out to JR, my good friend. I've known him for over 6 or 7 years now, and he is so passionate about our city that I am so proud to see him here in this capacity and looking forward to working with him again. And welcome to Sheila. I'm hoping to get to know you better as we work together to make our city Cupertino better. And Liang, we've worked together before, and glad to see you back at the dais. Congratulations, you all.
Thank you. Next, we have Daryl Stowe, followed by Kathy Stakey, followed by Minna.
Okay, Daryl Stowe. I'm still president of the Cupertino Historical Society. Hasn't changed, although we've been here a long time. I have a special commendation for J.R. Fruen, one of our board members from the Historical Society. Congratulations, J.R., on your promotion to the council. and Sheila, very nice to see you, and Liang again, and everybody else. So well done, sir. Good campaign. Are you still going to be on our board or not? We have to work that out. All right.
Next, we have Kathy Stakey, followed by Minna, followed by San Rao. Welcome, Kathy.
Thank you, City Council, and my dear friend Sheila Mohan. Sheila is not a stranger to community services. She and I were on the library commission together, and we served on the steering committee when the new library was built. So thank you for that, Sheila, and I'm so very, very proud to see you coming back in for community service. Thank you very, very much. And then JR, I have a message from Donna Austin. She was sorry she couldn't be here. She sent flowers for you, and she wanted me to tell you that she's very, very proud of you. She said that your integrity is something that cannot be matched. Thank you.
Next, we have Minna, followed by San Rao, followed by Sashi Bagor.
Hello, my name is Mina. I'm a Cupertino resident, and I come here just want to say congratulations to all new elected council members. And I also want to say thank you for Liang Chao. Thank you for your hard work for this city in last 4 years. I'm glad to see you got re-elected. You did so much job for this community, care about residents' needs, and listen from the people. And in this, during this campaign season, I noticed every candidate said they will listen to residents and improve the community engagement. And I really hope to see it happen in future. And thank you for you join this campaign and get elected and contribute your time for the whole community. Thanks, congratulations.
Next, we have San Rao, followed by Sashi Bagor, followed by Jennifer Sheeran.
I'd like to welcome the new council members, J.R. Fruen, Sheila Mohan, and Vice Mayor Liang Chao. Thank you for your campaigns. You ran a hard, tough campaign, and the campaign season is over. It's time for a new term. We hope that you will work together as one council and meet in the middle and meet the needs of all Cupertino residents. And we look forward to supporting you, and thank you for your service and the long hours that lie ahead for the next couple of years. Thank you very much.
Okay, next we have Sashi Bagor, followed by Jennifer Sharon, followed by Yi Ding.
Well, congratulations, JR, and congratulations, Sheila. That's very wonderful that you were able to win, and of course, Liang Chao. I'm a huge supporter of her, so we'll come to that later. But Sheila, you were sitting in John Willey's seat, and we know what that means now. So you're going to hear a lot from a lot of residents, but I'm sure you're open to that. And J.R. Fruen, I'm sure you're open to that too. We are a very noisy crowd. We will ask for a lot of things. So just hear us out at least. Liang, I don't even know where to start, how to thank you, what to say about you. Everything I've ever expected out of a person who's in public service, I have seen you do. It's the attention to detail. It is a question of actually connecting with people. It's taking the time. Even today, you were so interested in what was happening at Hyde. It's just amazing. You didn't have to do that. It was just a request, but you went in there despite having to be here, and that's amazing. Thank you very much. Thank you all of you on the council for your service.
Next, we have Jennifer Sharon, followed by Yi Ding, and I have a speaker card from Michael Tsai with no number. If you are going to speak under this item, you will be next. If not, let me know if you'll speak on the next public comment period. Welcome, Jennifer.
I've been proud to know JR for a while and have recently met Sheila, and I'm so happy and so proud that I was part of making sure that you made it up onto this dais. Thank you. But now I'm going to let the younger generation speak.
Hi. First of all, congratulations to all our newly elected council members. Second, I feel lucky to have had the opportunities that JR has given me. He's been such a source of mentorship and wisdom. I've had the chance to interview him for my law class. I had the chance to speak at his campaign kickoff. All of this helped me grow as a person and grow in my understanding of politics and where I wanted the city to go. I hope that, just like me, Cupertino can grow under JR's leadership. In fact, I'm certain of it. Thank you.
Next, we have Yi Ding, followed by, so Michael Tsai, will you be speaking? Yes, speaking under this item? Okay. And then we have Dr. Clifton Derbing with two other people that will be speaking with him. Welcome, Yi.
Hi. Congratulations to all the newly elected city council members.
My name's Yi Ding. I'm a resident of San Jose. You might wonder, why am I here? Well, the truth is, we can't look away. You've probably read the many articles that our paper of record have written about your city. And what you do here in Cupertino has an outsized effect that goes far beyond your 58,000 residents. It's, in fact, not an exaggeration to say that the state, and in fact the whole world, is looking at what you do here. So I hope the very best for all of you, that you discharge your responsibilities with integrity, with care, and with your best possible judgment. Thank you and congratulations.
Okay, next we have Michael Tsai, followed by Clifton Durbing, along with John, and I believe this says Sandy or Sardi. Welcome, Michael.
Good evening, Honorable Council. My name is Michael Tsai from the Milpitas School Board, speaking in a personal capacity, and I was the runner-up for Milpitas City Council. Anyways, I want to deeply congratulate all of the new elected council members. Campaigning is hard work, and take a break because your work is about to get even harder because governing is even harder. I especially want to congratulate my friend J.R. Fruen, and I'll just put it out there. I do believe he is actually the first Lynbrook graduate to be elected to a city council. Go Vikings! But I'm not exactly sure. So if anyone hears this and wants to show that someone else from Lynbrook got elected to council first, please do so. But if not, I want to let that stand, that he has broken that barrier. I know there are many challenges ahead, but I'm confident this new council can resolve all differences and really move the community forward. And as the previous speaker said, a lot of people are watching.
Thank you,
and
Michael.
I think we can make a big difference.
Next we have Dr. Clifton Durbing, and I believe this is a group request, John and
Yes.
Sandy.
The 3 minutes, please.
Okay, video, would you please cue 3 minutes? Thank you.
All right, dear council members, I thank you all for serving for the city of Cupertino. I'm Dr. Clifton Durbing, and I am only speaking on behalf of myself. As a resident of Cupertino, I have higher faith that our city will now be on a progressive path forward that focuses on increased equity, transparency, accountability, and sustainability, as well as abiding by the state of California laws. Instead of following a political stance where different parties criticize one another, I would like to address only one person on the dais. To Councilmember Fruen, or JR, or shall I say, husband. Today marks one of the proudest moments in our lives, in shared status with our recent wedding a few months ago. For years, you have desired to support new housing, bicycle pedestrian infrastructure, our schools, and civil society. I have witnessed how much energy, emotion, and even finances you have poured into earning this honor tonight. With such heartfelt dedication to true leadership, you have rallied together with numerous others to create a more perfect Cupertino. However, as I speak, I am sure there are a few people who are scoffing at my descriptions of you. Joseph, you have been the target of so many harshness and victim of a political pettiness. I pray to God that now that the elections are finished, this maliciousness will end and that the future will be more neighborly. Although such vicious attacks may still hurt, I'm here to remind you of the ardent perseverance you have demonstrated throughout, especially as an LGBTQ+ elected official, the first LGBTQ+ Cupertino City Council member. Beyond your nerdy character is a powerful leader who knows what it is like to be ostracized and discriminated against. You have a right to feel angry at those who have wrongly casted stones at you, yet you choose to still lead with steadfast compassion. So Joseph, Councilmember Fruen, husband rather, you have a lot of community work to do as you serve alongside your fellow council members to improve the state of the city. From balancing duties at City Hall, to maintaining holistic self-care, to even saying, I love you to your husband at least once a week if I'm lucky. Know that today marks the beginning of a journey toward a better and more inclusive community. Congratulations to you, my love.
Next, we have Seema Linskog, followed by Pragya Zinpei and Henry, I believe it's a group request, and Gilbert, former Mayor, Cupertino Mayor Gilbert Wong. So, Seema? Welcome, Seema.
Thank you. I just want to say congratulations to all 3 council members. It was a hard-fought campaign for all 3 of you. And I know you guys put your heart and soul into it. And you deserve to be sitting where you are right now because you worked hard for it, you had the heart for it, you want to give your heart and soul to the city, and you all want what's best for the city. And I think we all see that and we all recognize that and we welcome it and we honor it. So thank you for wanting to give this much of you to us for our betterment, for our city and our community. Welcome, and we look forward to working with all 3 of you. Thank you.
Next, we have, and I apologize if I mispronounce your name, Pragya Natarajan, Zinpei Liu, and Henry Wijaja, followed by Gilbert Wong, followed by Yvonne Thorstenson. Welcome. Yes, that's.
As Cupertino High School students, we're excited for the opportunity to see a new era in Cupertino politics. And on a personal note, I have to thank JR for giving me the opportunity to grow as a person and for helping me out during hard times. And I have learned so much from opportunity for interning for him.
Hi, I'm Pragya. I actually first met JR when I was a freshman. And that was 3 years ago, way before his 2020 campaign. And that was an experience. This year, all 3 of us are high school interns for JR, and it was a really nice experience. I've kind of worked with him on and off for different things for the last few years, and I'm excited, not only just for JR, but to see how the next few years unfold in Cupertino, how much progress can be made, and how our futures will be shaped by the leadership of this current council. So I'm incredibly thankful for the opportunity to, of course, work on a campaign, learn how the process works, and I hope to see how our futures unfold. Thank you.
So I'd like to start off with a quote from Benjamin Franklin. So, tell me and I forget, teach me and I remember, and involve me and I learn. So I'd like to say a very sincere thank you to JR for involving all 3 of us. But yeah, we as students have strived to see the change in the city that we reside in, and we've seen how influential the city council can be in decisions that change how we move forward as a community together. So with newly elected council members and with our existing council members, we hope that Cupertino will continue to change for the better and make student life as well as community life better. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Next, we have Gilbert Wong, followed by Yvonne Thorstenson, followed by Anthony Becker.
Good evening. My name is Gilbert Wong. I'm here not as trustee of Foothill De Anza Community College or as former mayor, but representing the Cupertino Sister City Committee. Helene Davis apologizes that she can't be here tonight to say thank you to Mayor Darcy Paul and Councilmember John Willey for serving on the City Council, and to welcome Vice Mayor Liang Chao, Councilmember Fruen, and Councilmember Sheila Mohan, as it's pronounced correctly, because sometimes I mispronounce it, that we're just so excited. As an individual, I want to specifically say to Councilmember J.R. Fruen that it has been my honor to work on your campaign for the 2nd time and 2 times the best, and that I'm really excited about it, as well as for Sheila Mohan. All your hard work has really paid off. not only we're here to celebrate JR being the first one from the Lynbrook High School, thank you, or the first LGBT open member on the Cupertino City Council, which we should applaud for, and also for Sheila Mohan, for numerous Asian Americans who has been elected, but the second Asian American woman, Indian woman, to be on there. But to look at this council and how it reflects diversity, that we have 4 women, and we need to elect 4 more women and have more women on this council. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next, we have Yvonne Thorstensen, followed by Anthony Becker, and our final speaker will be Ian Greensides.
Hi, my name is Yvonne Thorstensen, and I was never involved in politics before. It was a 4-letter word. But then I worked with the homeless ministry at my church, and it became clear that we could feed people and we could help them find clothing, but we couldn't find them houses. And I realized that at some point that working with government is a way to scale up solutions, not just for housing, but for all sorts of things. Instead of working with one person, you can make impact across the entire community. And I was really happy to meet J.R. Fruen and help with his campaign. And I'm counting on him to walk us through the wonkiest parts and make them understandable to mere citizens. Thank you.
Next, we have Anthony Becker, and our final speaker is Ian Greensides. Welcome, Anthony.
Hello there. I'm Anthony Becker, council member for the city of Santa Clara. I'm here for myself, but also I'm here to welcome the new city council as well as JR. I think that this is a moment that I can extend an olive branch to work between our 2 communities. This is a major change for Cupertino. Our cities may have artificial lines or borders, but Cupertino and Santa Clara have the same issues. They are related. What happens in your city happens in ours, and vice versa, from affordable housing, transportation to economic development, and ultimately building a better future. We will need to work together locally and regionally, but congrats to JR. I'm so happy that you were elected. In 2020, when you lost, I told you not to give up, but you're here today. Remember, this is going to come with late nights, a lot of meetings, weight gain, hair loss, not that I know from experience. I'm kidding. This is such a privilege and rewards for the city of Cupertino to be a public servant. This is a night to celebrate and a momentous and historic achievement. Congrats, Councilmember J.R. Fruen and the newly elected officials. I can't wait to work with all of you. Thank you again.
And our final speaker is Ian Greensides. Welcome, Ian.
Hello, my name is Ian Greensides. I'm a business owner here in Cupertino, and I'm a former resident. I lost my housing shortly after I told my landlord that my adult daughter was bisexual. I am so proud that you are on this council, JR, because you're someone I can say, no, our experience in Cupertino, which has not always been good, my family has suffered discrimination. My children are Filipino American, and we haven't always had a good experience here in Cupertino, but I'm proud that you're on this council. And I want to speak to the council tonight to pick a mayor who's going to make this city proud, who's not going to embarrass this city, who's not going to embarrass business owners, who's not going to say things that are racist, who are not going to say things that are homophobic. I ask you to make a hard decision and not just rotate through someone because they sat up here before, but pick someone with integrity who's not going to pick on vulnerable people. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, City Clerk. So now we can move on to the next item, which is election and oath of the mayor and vice mayor. First, we could have a public comment, and then we can, and then we can. Should we do the public comment first? So.
That'll be your discretion.
Should we? Okay, then. Actually, I would like to then just make a motion for Councilmember Han Wei to be the mayor. And
I'll second that motion.
yeah, so I think Han has has a long experience, and then I hope that I know that you are very busy with Rotary, but I think for next year, you will be the best person to be the mayor for Cupertino. So you accept? Yeah. Okay. I think we can deliberate first, right? So anyone would like to comment on the, so now we have the motion and second we can deliberate, or we can ask for public comment. So if any, then maybe we should have, anyone would like to say something before we go to public comment? Okay. If no one wants to
So it's within the discretion of the chair to allow discussion before going to public comment, but you're also able to go to public comment at this time and then bring the discussion back to council.
Okay. So if no council member would like to comment, would you? Okay. Councilmember Mohan.
Yeah. My only comment is I support Han Wei as the next mayor.
Okay. So we will then go to public comment first, and then we can come back to vote. So please submit your blue card if you would like to comment.
Okay, we have, first we have Richard Lowenthal, followed by Rick Kitson, followed by Angelique Hauser.
Yeah, so the same rule, if you would like to speak, submit your card within the first 3 minutes.
Yes, Richard.
Thank you very much. My name is Richard Lowenthal. I want to commend Vice Mayor Liang Chao on her motion to have Han Wei be our next mayor. I think it was a selfless act to make that motion. I think it's the correct one. I think Han is very well prepared to be the mayor. She was president of the school board once or twice or 3 times, I think. I think she's well equipped to do this. I also think, you know, in the day when I served, which was like decades ago, it was the first vote getter of the previous election that always became mayor, so I'm glad to see that returning to that kind of a feel. So thank you very much, Liang. Congratulations on your re-election, and congratulations to Sheila and JR on your election. And on this nomination, I urge the council to vote in favor of Hung for mayor. Thank you.
Next, we have...
Excuse me, Madam Clerk, just point of order. I just wanted to make sure that the members of the public were aware that this, based on the agenda, this is also the opportunity to comment on the vice mayor, unless the council chooses to reopen public comment. So thank you.
Okay, thank you, City Attorney Jensen. So next we have Rick Kitson, followed by Angelique Hauser, followed by Fariba Najat.
Good evening once again, Rick Kitson with the Cupertino Chamber of Commerce. It has been my very great honor to work in the public sector for elected officials and for 15 years in this very organization with council members and the staff. It takes teamwork, it takes vision, and I'm speaking in support of Vice Mayor Chao's motion. I think there's great challenges and there's a potential for a great team here to lead the city. Thank you.
Next, we have Angelique Hauser, followed by Fariba Najat, followed by Seema Linskog.
Thank you. And I would like to echo what's been already said by the previous two speakers. I think Vice Mayor Liang Chao, you made a great motion, and I would like to urge the City Council to support and make Mayor Hang Wei. And also, I guess you all will be working as a great team, and I'm sure you among yourselves will pick the right vice mayor as you get to the next step, and we'll just have to wait and see for that. But for the first step, I think you have done a great job. Thank you.
Next, we have Connie Cunningham, followed by Yvonne Thorstensen, followed by Judy Wilson. So I see Connie approaching. Welcome, Connie.
Good evening, and just to clarify things a little bit, do I talk to both Vice Chair and Vice Chair? Okay, and also I missed the run-up for the other, so welcome and congratulations, JR, friend for many years, and Sheila, congratulations, and a friend for a couple of years, and Liang Chao, congratulations, welcome back. So I want to take this opportunity, good evening. I support Hung Wei for mayor. She's a leader. Prior to her council experience, she served our community for over a decade, excuse me, as effective member of the Fremont Union High School District. She's known for her ability to listen to others, to hear others, and to collaborate effectively on complicated issues. For the past 2 years, Hung Wei has served as a council member. One of the ordinances that was passed in 2021 was the Bird Safe Design and Dark Skies Ordinance, which is critical not only to birds, but also to humans in the furtherance of other environmental efforts. With this background, she will plan effectively with council, city staff. Oops, I need to switch.
Right, that was time elapsed.
Okay, and I support Sheila Mohan for vice chair, excuse me. And I have many reasons for that. But I guess I won't tell you what all the reasons are. I just support her.
Thank you, Connie. Next, we have Yvonne Thorstensen, followed by Judy Wilson, followed by Barry Chang.
I think you forgot Seema.
Yeah, you called me earlier and then you skipped over her.
Oh, I apologize. Please come to the podium. Yes, I see your card. I apologize.
And Jennifer Sheeran is joining me for this. So I just want to say quickly, thank you, Vice Mayor Chao, for nominating Councilmember Wei. I do think it's the right decision. I have been around Hung for a few years now, and I am very impressed with her. She has such a big heart, and she wants to see the best in people, and she wants to do the best for people, and she's an incredible leader. She has served the community and the city for years, and she deserves this, I think, for all her dedication to the city.
And I have to agree with everything Seema says, but also the fact that Hung is able to bring all of us together. I think she works well with everyone, and I think she would make an excellent mayor.
Welcome, Judy Wilson.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone. So I think looking around, I might be Hung's oldest, maybe not oldest in years, oldest friend here. We met in kindergarten when our kids, 30-something years ago when our kids were in kindergarten. But since then, I have chaired or co-chaired or did almost every project I've done in my life with Hung by my side. And she worked with my husband, Bill Wilson, on the Fremont Union High School District Board. So I could say I've watched her very carefully over the years. You will get no one more dedicated, no one more filled with heart and more honest than Hung if you choose her as mayor. And as we all know, she's the most unbelievable person who could be at 3 places at one time. Literally, right? I mean, there is no one else like her. And a mayor needs to be at 3 places at one time, so you would be very well served by asking Hung to be your mayor.
Next, we have Yvonne Thorstensen, followed by Barry Chang, followed by Jennifer Griffin, and our final speaker would be Patrick Ahrens.
Hi, Yvonne again. I just wanted to say that I agree wholeheartedly with having Hung Wei as the mayor of Cupertino. And I would like you to entertain the possibility of having Sheila Mohan, did I say that right? As the vice mayor. She's already shown dedication to public service through so many ways, and through the county and through the city. And she's really easy to work with. And I've heard that she's also very funny. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Barry Chen. I was the former mayor of the city of Cupertino. Jennifer Griffin just told me the previous council had meeting till 5 a.m. When I was the mayor or when I was on council, the latest we have is 3 a.m. So I'm challenging the new council, don't go to the meeting till 5 a.m. Okay, painful, okay. I want to make a comment. Liang's nomination to Han to be the mayor is very smart and very diplomatic. So I can see this council will be working together much smoother for the future. And I want to commend the old one, including John Willey. You guys take out what I have done against D-High. Now D-High is closing. So watch on what that then will be. You guys need to pay attention to it, okay? And Han, I know you can do a good job.
Thank you, Barry.
My relationship is much older than Judy Wilson. I mean, before the preschool. Before preschool, okay? Thank you. My time is up. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Welcome, Jennifer.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Griffin. Congratulations to everyone. I first wound up coming into politics, Lord, it was like I think it was in 1995. My neighborhood was in the county, and we had to work hard to annex into Cupertino. And it was a mind-boggling experience. I grew up in a county pocket, so I was used to Board of Supervisors. So we did it, we worked it, we annexed. And I've been active member of this city. I was the first person to actually speak in this new building in 2003. I've been coming to meetings, and as Barry said, the latest we've been here was at 5 a.m. I think that was over the Apple spaceship. But it takes a lot of hard work.
10 seconds.
It's dedication, and you have to listen to every person in this city. It's not just us. It's West San Jose. It's Santa Clara. It's Sunnyvale.
Thank you, Jennifer.
It's Los Altos. So however we're proceeding forward, let's go together and not set roadblocks up for each other, because we're not all political novices. Thank you.
And our final speaker is Patrick Ahrens.
Hello, Honorable Council. My name is Patrick Ahrens, and I have the honor of being the board president for the Foothill De Anza Community College Board. It's an honor to jointly represent Cupertino. I would just like to say that I want to thank Councilmember Liang Chao for her motion. I'm looking forward to your leadership. Councilmember Hung Wei, it's just an honor to work with each and every one of you on behalf of our students, faculty, and staff. And I know that we're going to accomplish great things together for our students. And I know each and every one of you care so much about them and serving them. So looking forward to working with this council under your amazing leadership, Councilmember Hung Wei. Thank you.
So that's the end of public comment. I learned one thing in the past 4 years, that if there is any misinformation, I need to correct it right away, especially for meeting time. Since 2018, I was on the council. I don't think our meeting ever went until, I think in the first year, maybe it went past longer, but under Darcy, it's hard. It always ends before midnight, and rarely it goes out after. And when it go over, he always asks the entire council, how much longer we would like to be. I think we didn't move more than 12:30. So I am glad that I'm sure under Councilmember Han Wei, she's much better even in time management, managing so many volunteer jobs. And then we always have shared time to speak during our council meetings. So I'm looking forward to more fair and share and the collaborative council meetings in Cupertino. So any other comments on the item?
In the spirit of correcting misinformation, we've had many meetings that have gone well past midnight, including the Regnart Creek Trail feasibility study, which I believe ended at about 4:30 in the morning. I was in this room, a lot of people were in this room, and that was certainly after 2018.
Regnart Creek Trail feasibility study was approved in August 2018.
Yes, 2018.
Sorry, yeah.
2018, yes. We ran well past 4 a.m.
I wasn't on the council then. That's what I meant.
Point of order.
Yeah.
I think the items on the agenda are the election of the mayor and the vice mayor.
Okay, so anyone else would like to comment? So then we should vote. City Clerk, please conduct the vote.
Councilmember Chao.
Oh, aye.
Councilmember Fruen.
Aye.
Councilmember Mohan.
Aye.
Councilmember Moore.
Abstain.
Councilmember Wei.
Aye.
Motion carries with Moore abstaining.
So I think we now switch to
Madam City Clerk, can we take a 5-minute recess to do seating arrangement, and we'll come back in 5 minutes.
Mayor. Oh, we like the sound of that. I'm just so proud of you. I'm just so incredibly proud to be here, and this is an incredible moment. And for members of the public, I first was made aware of our mayor's public service when I was a legislative staff member for then Senator Elaine Alquist, in which there was an appointment for the Fremont Union High School District Board of Trustees, and I was drafting a congratulatory letter almost 2 decades ago, and the continued public service lives on. And so we congratulate and honor your service. So if you'll kindly raise your right hand and repeat after me for the oath of office. I,
Han Wei,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to support and defend
to support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies,
foreign
and domestic,
that
I will bear
true faith
and allegiance
to
the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well faithfully discharge the duties upon which I'm about to enter for the city of Cupertino. Congratulations, Mayor Han Wei. I'm so proud of you.
Okay, and I understand City Manager, we will wait for the mayor to chair the meeting.
Mayor Wei, would you like to take a short recess, or we can just simply do the seating Okay. Madam City Clerk, why don't we proceed? And Mayor Wei, if you can take over the meeting for the Vice Mayor selection.
Thank you very much. Now we're moving to agenda item, the election of the Vice Mayor. May I have a motion, please?
So I'd like to motion that I think in the spirit of being inclusive and in this new chapter of Cupertino, I think it's important that we have a Vice Mayor that will work collaboratively and with so that we can hear voices from every side of Cupertino. And so I would like to motion that Councilmember Kitty Moore to be the Vice Mayor. And you don't accept?
I appreciate but decline. Thank you.
We have a motion and a decline.
Okay.
Attorney Chris Jensen, do we just go to the next motion?
So the motion hasn't been seconded, so without a second, the motion will die.
Okay, so may I have another motion for Vice Mayor, please?
I move the nomination of Sheila Mohan as Vice Mayor.
May I have a second? I will second that. And now we have a motion and a second. And shall we we already taken public comments already, right? Kristen?
Yes, you've already taken public comment, so council may deliberate and then vote when they're done.
Okay, so now we're opening the council deliberation. Do we have any council member who would like to speak? If not, we'll go straight to vote. And Madam City Clerk, please conduct the vote, please.
Councilmember Chao?
Aye.
Councilmember Fruen?
Aye.
Councilmember Mohan?
Aye.
Councilmember Moore?
Abstain.
Mayor Wei?
Aye.
The motion carries with Moore abstaining.
Thank you. All right. And now let's go to the swearing for the Vice Mayor, please. Vice Mayor, swearing for the Vice Mayor, please.
Thank you, Mayor Wei. May I please invite our newly elected Vice Mayor Mohan to the front of the dais, and have you selected someone to administer the oath of office for you? Okay, so Assemblymember Evan Lowe, would you please join us on the dais?
Being put to work tonight. But what an honor to be able to do so for additional incredibly strong women. And it speaks volume to also serve in this capacity as a newly elected council member and now vice mayor. So if you would kindly raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
Sheila Mohan.
Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
To support and defend.
To support
and defend.
The
Constitution.
The Constitution.
Of the United States.
Of the United States.
And the Constitution.
And the Constitution.
Of the State of California.
Of the State of California.
Against all enemies.
Against all enemies.
Foreign and domestic.
Foreign and domestic.
That I will well.
That I will well.
Bear true faith.
Bear true faith.
And allegiance.
And allegiance.
To the Constitution.
To the Constitution.
Of the United States.
Of the United States.
And the Constitution.
And the Constitution.
Of the State of California.
Of the State of California.
That I take this obligation freely.
That I take this obligation freely.
Without any mental reservation.
Without any mental reservations.
Or purpose of evasion.
Or purpose of
evasion. And that I will well.
And that I will well.
And faithfully.
And faithfully.
Discharge the duties.
Discharge the duties.
Upon which.
Upon which.
I am about to enter.
I am about to enter.
For the city of Cupertino.
For the city of Cupertino.
Congratulations, Vice Mayor.
Thank you, Assembly Member Evan Lowe. We sure put you to work tonight. Thank you very much. And so we're coming to an end to this meeting. I have the privilege, if anyone wants to make a public comment, we can reopen the public comment. But if not, we are going to make a very short comment from Mayor and Vice Mayor, and before we go to adjournment. So Vice Mayor, may I invite you to speak a few words?
Thank you all for coming today, and thank you for being a part of this amazing day in my life. There are lots of people I want to thank. So let me just keep it brief, but I do want to mention a few key contributors to my campaign. First of all, my team that I met with regularly, multiple times a day, from the day I started my campaign, Jean Bedard, Gilbert Wong, and Councilmember Hung Wei. I also had the rare pleasure of working with a team of former mayors who unstintingly gave of their time and encouraged me as a first-time campaigner to make all the right moves, step by step, patiently, over and over again. Former mayors Richard Lowenthal, Dolly Sandoval, Sandra James, Rod Sinks, Oren Mahoney, Savita Vaidyanathan. I am indebted to all of you. I also wanted to make a point of acknowledging my friends, some of them who are here in the audience. They were with me at every step of the way. Reshma and Anil, Pushpa, Hema, Sujata. Yep, that's it who are here today. They started with me on the first day of my campaign and stood with me. I didn't have to twist their arms. I didn't have to bribe them with Indian food. They supported me every inch of the way, so I'll always be grateful for that. Finally, my family, Ram. Aditi, Puneet, Ananya, and Amisha. They're all, they don't live in Cupertino, but they're Cupertino experts in terms of issues. So I see a future for them, provided they move back to Cupertino. Also want to acknowledge my sister-in-law, Lakshmi, who came all the way from India for this event. And my cousin Padmini, who traveled up from Los Angeles. I'm very honored that the voters of Cupertino have given me this opportunity to serve the community, and I hope and I will pray and work to the best of my ability for the next 4 years and make sure that I never ever let you down. I had a vision for Cupertino when I started this campaign, and I will make sure that the trust you reposed in me will always be there and continue to thrive, if not enhanced. So thank you all for your generous support to me today and for the last 6 months, and I look forward to serving you as best I can. Thank you.
Thank you and congratulations, Vice Mayor Mohan. Now I'm going to say a very short few words. I want to thank all the compliments that's given to me, and I promised and committed to transparency. That means John Willey focused, Ruston focused. At Rustons, there are 3 levels of Rustons: current residents that live in Cupertino, people who work in Cupertino who are our day residents, and our future generations who are our future residents. So I'm going to be John Willey focused for all 3 levels of residents, and that's a commitment I think this council can make. And also partnerships. Cupertino City is a great city. We are south of Sunnyvale. We are west of San Jose. We are north of Saratoga. We do not stand alone. We are part of the greater Silicon Valley. So we have council members from other cities here. We are going to partnership with them. And within Cupertino, we have partnerships. Our Foothill De Anza College, our Fremont Union High School District, our CUSD, our nonprofit organizations, West Valley Community Services, Northwest YMCA, the Rotary Club of Cupertino, the Lions Cupertino, and Optimist, and PTAs. These are partnerships that can move our city forward together. And then we're going to focus on teamwork. This is a teamwork. We have diversity in our city. We have a diversity in our council. So we are going to move forward with transparency, with partnership, and with teamwork. And last but not least is our staff. We have expertise in our staff. We want to thank our staff for working so hard for Cupertino. We're going to empower them to bring their expertise into Cupertino to help us make initiatives. So partnership in a certain different levels. And the last thing I would like to say is, I think someone mentioned honorable. Once we're elected, people call us honorable. Honorable is not a description of the elected officials. Honorable is a demand from the public for us to think honorable thoughts, make honorable statements, and do honorable things, make honorable decisions. It is a demand from the public for us to be honorable. It's not a description of us. So if there are elected officials down there and elected officials up here and future aspiring elected officials, please remember, when you are being called honorable, it is not a description of you. It's a demand from the public for you to think honorably, say honorable words, and make honorable decisions. So let's live up to that word, honorable, and work together with transparency with our residents, current, our day workers, and our future generations, and work together with partnerships, work together with teamwork, move Cupertino forward into not just the next 5, 10 years, but the next 50 years, because we are looking forward to build Cupertino into the future of the most innovative city that our current residents will be proud of, our future residents can enjoy. So thank you so much for your trust. And my colleagues, I'm pretty sure we can work together and make our best city council as it's ever for Cupertino. So thank you for your trust and the meetings. This is the first time I'm going to do this. The meeting is adjourned.